Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so firstly, the camera is a bit skewed because for some reason my tripod won't fit. It's a little bit skewed, but anyway. So today it is Wednesday, it is the 6th of August, and I'm 3 days out from the final show of the year. So it's the Two Bros Samson Dowder Classic. It's in Lincoln on Saturday. So I guess I just wanted to cover a few bits in the final stages leading up to it. You know, there's a few bits and bobs that are going on now, just to finalise the look. And to be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said that this hasn't been challenging. Now the reason why it's been challenging, I kind of covered it in the last video. It's basically having to bridge gaps with shows. So I was in stage condition 5 weeks ago, in fact 6 weeks ago, because I've done 2 shows. And I was going to call it a day then, but then I thought to myself, no, do you know what? Like, I feel like there's a little bit more left in the tank. So I picked this show, and obviously it was 5 weeks after that show. So, you know, I've basically been in shape for 7, 8 weeks now, and it does take a toll. I think when you are on low food and your body's in, you know, basically stage condition for that time, kind of juggling it, you know, in terms of energy, in terms of training performance, things like that, it's just a little bit, I don't know, basically, I love bodybuilding and I absolutely love prep. However, there is a shelf life on everything, a bit like off-season. I don't mind off-season until it gets, you know, when it drags on. Basically, the extreme end of things is when it starts to really test you. First 10 weeks of off-season, fine. 15 weeks, start to get a bit harder. 20 weeks, you know, same as prep. When you first 5 weeks, breeze. Then the next 5, a little bit harder, but it's okay. Very satisfying, very rewarding. Then another 5 on top of that, then another 5. So basically this one's been 19 weeks for me. And I'm someone who changes quite fast. I've never done longer than 15 or 16 weeks, ever. Now the only way that it's been possible is by doing refeeds and high days, things like that. So basically my body weight comes down and I push it up again. And it comes down, I push it up again. And just basically sort of like keep myself afloat. But as I say, it's definitely taken a toll and I'm ready for it to be done now. And I think one of the things I wanted to cover as well is like the way that I play it is not necessarily the way that other people play it. So there are certain things that people believe they have to do. So number one, when it comes to carb loading for a show, people almost believe they have to do a carb load and they have to do it over this time, has to be here, there and everywhere. It doesn't have to be anything. It has to be right for your physique. Now I've been doing this so long now, I've realized how my physique looks best, and it looks best if I'm a little bit flatter. If I overdo the carb load, it doesn't necessarily work in my favor. I don't even necessarily look that much bigger. I've got photos comparison when I did huge carb loads with my old coach versus when I don't do a carb load, and it's like, I look bigger when I don't. It's kind of weird. So, you know, you need to do what's right for your physique. Just because you hear online, that's what you should do, that doesn't mean that's what you should do. It's what works for your physique. So for me, as I say, it's Wednesday today. I'm going in with a slight bump of carbohydrates today. I'm going in with like about 400, 500 grams of carbs. Tomorrow, I'm going to deplete again. And then Friday is the day before the show. I'm going low all day, and then I'm going to have a final, the final 2 meals are going to be larger. I'm doing that, and I'm also going to be taking a diazide, or half a diazide, which is a diuretic for those that don't know. My water is incredibly high, so I'm doing 8+ liters of water every single day at the moment. Then I'll taper down my water, and on show day I'll be in very minimal. Again, I like to keep my stomach smaller. Like I always find, if I try and pose with a load of food in my stomach, it just doesn't feel as nice. So on show day I'll keep things very, very minimal. Even water intake minimal as well, because I like to keep myself smaller in the midsection. So yeah, slight bump in carbs, but not a lot, and then back low again, which is unheard of. Most people just want to load up 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 grams of carbs. And I've done that, and I don't believe that it yields a better look for me personally. So that's number one. And then the second one that people feel like they have to do, but I'm not, and it's not because I'm trying to be contrary on purpose, it's when you finish training legs. So a lot of people will say you need to stop training legs maybe 5, 7, 10 days out. For me, I've noticed that actually it doesn't necessarily matter. I can train legs today and tomorrow I'll have detail. So one of the reasons being is that like fatigue build up in your legs, you lose a little bit of detail and whatnot, but that's not a thing for me. So we're Wednesday today, show Saturday, legs today. It's my final leg session of prep. So, but what I'm going to show you is that it's going to be a really light session. It's like, I'll be training, but like, let's call it maybe 80% output, if that. What I do is I tend to lower the overall load and just slow things down and really think about the contraction. So I'm still going to get like a real burn in my legs, but it's not going to tax my joints, it's not going to tax my central nervous system. So yeah, legs today, and then it's going to be chest and triceps tomorrow. And then on Friday is a rest day where I'm traveling to Lincoln, and then that's it. Cardio has been pulled. I sort of chopped and changed with cardio because I've been doing these refeed days. So I've still been having off-plan meals. I even had an off-plan meal on Saturday, and it was a big one as well. I realized that my body weight was just crashing so hard that I needed a big influx. So here's an interesting one as well. This morning, I'm my lightest body weight in 5 years. I haven't been this light that I am today in 5 years. Now, that might get in some people's heads thinking, well, I must be smaller. Well, no, I think I'm in better condition. So, sometimes you have to let go of the scales and think, I need to be big. I know what looks better on me. For example, I can be 120 kilos. I can do that very easily. I could be 120 kilos in a day or two, but it wouldn't benefit my physique. I would look worse. Now, I'd look good in the gym, I'd have great pumps, but it wouldn't look better on stage. Today I woke up and I was 112.5 kilos. So it's incredibly low for me. I started prep at 136, so we're talking 24 kilograms I've dropped. But yeah, the detail was there. And I just need a slight bump of carbohydrates. That's all I need. So I'm having some tonight, and I'm gonna have some Friday night, and then that's it. I'm gonna be training legs, as I say, things you're not supposed to do, but again, I know how my physique works. I know that I'm gonna be absolutely fine. So yeah, that's that. And just to finalize here, the next vlog is gonna be how to manage post-prep. I think, again, people are so obsessed with the reverse diet that it ends up sort of like, they end up doing their own head in. So I think I'm gonna sort of show how I navigate through that and how I get myself normalized again, shall we say. But until then, leg session, which I'm gonna run through. I'm gonna explain some bits as I do it, and that's a wrap. So I just recorded some bits on the adductor, a bit of an intro to the leg session, but I did it on the wrong, so it's supposed to be landscape for YouTube, and I did it portrait. So anyway, it must just be my prep brain. So anyway, this is final leg session, and I would be lying if I said I was up for it. I'm definitely not up for it, but it is what it is. It's the final one. Prep's gone on for quite a long time, and energy is low, so it is what it is. 6 exercises, 2 sets per exercise, and everything is going to be not full output, So I've just done 2 sets on the adductor. I did the full stack, and I did like 12 reps, just at the point where you start to feel a burn, get a good pump. Now the reason being that you don't want to go full throttle at this stage. There's 5 reasons. Number 1, injury prevention. At this stage, I'm compromised, and if I hurt myself, sort of fuck myself for the show. Number 2, energy and recovery are shit at the moment because of low food. Number 3, I'm not trying to get stronger. I'm actively just trying to get a nice pump in the muscle, pump around some food, even though there's no food in my system. Number 4, if I've got bad DOMs, I'm not going to be able to tense my legs properly when it comes to stage. And number 5, fatigue. Ultimately I'm already fatigued. As I say, recovery and energy is already shit. So then if I'm now after the session and for the next few days I'm absolutely belted, then I'm no good to no one. So yeah, it's just a bit of a going through the motions kind of thing. So 2 sets per exercise, nothing to failure. I'm gonna go 2 or 3 plates. So for context, I normally go maybe 4 or 5 plates on this hamstring car machine for maybe like 8 to 12 reps. So I'm probably just gonna go 2 to 3 plates for 10 reps. Again, I'm not trying to do anything mad here. I just want to get a nice pump in my legs, then I fuck off. And here's the thing, when it comes to going a bit lighter, that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be bad. I can really focus on the contractions that I'm getting through my hamstrings. So what tends to happen is when I go heavy, is I'll swing it down. Whereas now I can actively contract my hamstrings and control everything really, really well. So with this technique, it feels very, very different. And actually, I'm going to fatigue myself a lot quicker by doing it this method. And that'll be it. Just a nice pump. So yeah, That's adductors done, that's hamstring curls done. Now I'm onto the squat movement. So there's going to be a squat movement, a leg press movement, and leg extension, and walking lunges. So I've got 2 leg sessions through the week. One is a hamstring dominant one is hamstring glutes, and then this one's more quad dominant. So these sessions are a little bit hard to get up for because, well, not only is my energy shit, but where I'm not really going for it as well, it's not massively exciting. But I believe necessary at this stage. So I'm really not trying to break any records, just trying to get a nice leg pump. I'm also doing this leg session in sliders. Don't at me. So yeah, we're going for 2 and 3 plates on the pendulum, so it's literally fuck all. But you'll notice the range of motion, so I'm going super, super deep. I'm adding in that pause and obviously the controlled eccentrics as well. So I'm thinking about controlling it all the way down. In fact, I'll show you as I go. So on the way down, I'm not exact, I'm not precise, but I roughly count out 5 seconds. When I'm here, dead stop, explode out. So I'm trying to create that tension through my quads. Down, controlled, controlled, full depth, hamstrings literally on my calves, explode up. This is really nice on the knees, on the joints, but very demanding for the quads. So even though there's not a lot of weight on it, I'm making it hard by doing it this way. It's worthwhile me saying that the word fatigue is overused in 2025. People are so scared to work hard through fatigue management, and it kind of normally bugs me. But 3 days out, when I'm trying to be as fresh as I can in 3 days, yeah, I think it's relevant now. So this is a machine that I would never really use in off season or for most of prep. But when you get to this stage, pin loaded is a godsend. If I don't have to load weights on and off the machine, I'm a happy man. So the last like 2 or 3 weeks I've utilized this machine. It's not particularly heavy, but again, with what I'm trying to do, it's not really a problem. So pin loaded when you're fucked. Right, so let's get into this then. This one's always a little bit awkward for me to get in. Mobility isn't the best, but here we go. Again, control the eccentric, explode out. Exercise number 5, leg extension. I would normally use the double one, but it's being used at the moment, so I'm just using a single leg now. Yeah, 2 sets, again, just get a nice pump. And again, the way in which you do it matters. So I could pump out probably 30 reps on this, no problem, but instead, contract as hard as I can, control, contract. You fatigue a lot quicker, and it's worth mentioning as well, my rest periods are a lot shorter. So as much as my sets aren't hugely demanding, I'm doing shorter rest periods, so it kind of like makes me weaker anyway. So yeah, here we go. Decided to take the sliders off of this. So yeah, just some walking lunges now, unweighted, nice and deep. I just do a couple of sets of 20 steps. Again, to reiterate, the goal is not to break any records. And the goal is to get a pump, and my quads are certainly that. Oh my God. So as I explained, you know, today is going to be ever so slightly increased carbs. And the first meal of which is 100 grams of oats. And I've got some flavor powder in there. It's butter cookie. And I've got also cinnamon and 40 grams of whey. But I've made it into a paste. Kind of looks a bit shit, but it smells amazing. So this is the first one I'm going to put in. I'm putting in 3 extra carb meals today. This is number 1. I'm pretty annoyed at myself. I didn't even record the other carb meals that I had, which is very frustrating. So basically it was a normal depletion day. About 8 o'clock in the evening, 8:30 in the evening, I was still only on 1,500 calories. And then, but that was including the bowl of oats. So 1,500 including the bowl of oats. 100 grams carbs by that point. And then last night before bed, I had 2 large meals. So I had 150 grams of rice with my chicken. And then I had 150 grams of cream of rice with 200 grams of fruit in it as well. Worked out it was about 2,500 calories that I had after. So it ended up being 4,000 for the day. And I woke up this morning and I was like almost a kilogram up. But mind you, I ate my last meal at about 11 o'clock. So sometimes that can skew it a little bit. But yeah, so bearing in mind I was at my lowest depletion yesterday morning. So I'm only like a kilogram up now. And actually, yeah, so I'm still not full by any stretch. But I've got one more day of depletion. And then I'm going to have, as I say, a little influx on Friday as well. I know that my physique looks a little bit better when I'm a bit flatter. So yeah, one of the worst things about prep, well, to me actually, there's 2 things that are really shit. And it's not the things you'd necessarily think. People often assume it would be the hunger or energy. I mean, hunger, yes, energy, more so. But they're not the things. Number 1 is the lack of sleep. So I typically wake up anywhere between 3 to 5:30. If I make it to 5:30, I'm lucky. So today I made it to 5:05. I'm now 5:51 in the morning. I've come to a really beautiful place called Rivington, which is in Bolton, just to watch the sunrise. Pretty weird, but yeah. So you just find yourself not able to sleep. So that's like that. Then has an impact on your day. So obviously you're eating less food, and the days are longer because you're waking up so early. Tired as fuck, but you can't really sleep. So annoying. And then the other thing, and so overlooked, I don't really hear many people talking about this, is your attention span. Oh my God, if I'm not doing, like I have to create to-do lists. My to-do lists, I've got to like knock them off. And if I spend like 3-4 hours of doing nothing, well, I can't do it. So, and then trying to watch a film or something, it's just like, no chance. So yeah, I'm ready for the prep to end for those things. I want to be able to sleep properly and I want to be able to enjoy music and films and just to be able to chill without having to feel like I've got to do X, Y, Z. So yeah. Anyway, Thursday this morning, that means hair removal. I'm going to be vegan this morning. I'm also going to get a beard and haircut and final training session. Then I'm just going to prepare myself, get ready for traveling tomorrow. It's a 2 and a bit hour journey. But yeah, anyway, so I'll show you what I'm looking at Rivington. It doesn't really look like much because the sun's not actually out, which is ironic because I come to look at the sunrise. But it kind of overlooks Bolton, up in really rural area Bolton. When people think of Bolton, they don't think of any beauty, like, because it just sounds like typical shitty city / town. But actually, there's a lot of, it's really rural. It's really beautiful, and yeah, everywhere between Bolton, Blackburn, Preston, it's just really nice. And I sometimes go driving there just to admire the beauty, which is must be getting old because yeah. But anyway, so yeah, 2 days out, ready for prep to end because man, it's dragging. Right, so that is the Veet done and dusted. It's actually pretty quick. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it was actually really easy to do today. Now I'm just about to get my hair and beard done. And do you know what? I've just been having a few thoughts. And these are the moments where I feel like actually I do need a coach, because I've got my own little setup of how I want to peak for the show. And it's relevant to a degree, but it's also not, because I'm more depleted now than I was before. So what your body can handle at a certain level versus this level is different, and I'm a little bit concerned that I'm a little bit too depleted and what I have planned isn't necessarily going to be enough, which is weird because I always harp on about the fact that I look a little bit better flatter. However, there is obviously a limit. So I'm going to do some post-workout shots today after my session and see where I'm at and compare it to where I was last year and sort of like level of fullness. Yeah, it's one of them ones, it's like, you know, you're striving for condition, but you don't want to then sacrifice size because of it. So that's kind of the position I'm in now. So I'm sort of umming and ahhing. The plan is going to change if I don't like what I see today. So we shall see. It may mean more food. It may mean just stick with the plan, but it remains to be seen. We shall see. So anyway, haircut is about to happen. Here's where I am now. And whoo, fresh. Right, so that is the final session done and dusted. And as I mentioned earlier, I kind of wanted to see how my look was. I wanted to compare it to when I was in peak week for 2024 for the PCA Pro show that I did. And I've done a little comparison, which I'm going to put here. So based on what I'm looking at, I don't actually have a shot of my back double bicep, which is a bit annoying, but I'm leaner now, but I'm not it's not like a dramatic difference in terms of fullness. So you'll see through the different poses. So the plan is going to remain. However, there is one change. I am going to try and maintain this look as opposed to keep pushing on. So today was supposed to be a full depletion day, but I'm going to go in with 2 heavier meals like last night. So yesterday I went in with 3 meals. I did the oats and then I did 2 in the evening. I didn't do the oats today, so I'm super low calorie. What we're like, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening or something. I don't know what it is. Is it 8:30? 20 past 8. And I'm on 1,400 calories. So I'm on depletion food, but I don't need to keep pushing. I do need to have some sort of fullness. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with the 2 heavier meals this evening. Tomorrow is going to be a similar sort of process again. I'm just sort of trying to hold the look as opposed to trying to do anything drastic. So there's not going to be some massive carb load. The meals I'm going to have, again, same as last night, 150 rice with my chicken and veg, and then 150 cream of rice with fruit, whey, dark chocolate. And yeah, as I say, I'm not trying to make myself any more lean. I think that the level that I've got is like a nice balance, because as I say, I think I'm trying to push for glute condition, and it kind of comes at the expense of everything else. So yeah, my evening weight now is 115.5 kilo, but I'm like 7.5 liters of water deep at the moment. So yeah, a lot of that will be water, but still, yeah. And that's it. Final 2 meals are heavier.
I'm feasting up, baby.
And also Emily is on more food and she's pretty happy about that. So she's also got a high day. So yeah, we're going to be eating tonight, which is quite nice. I'm now, like 36 hours out or something like that? I don't know, but yeah, let's get it. So that is 2 hours and 50 minutes, fucking Friday traffic. Just arrived at Samson Dowder's gym, which is where the registration is. How was that drive for you?
Exhausted.
I feel fucking terrible. But anyway, yeah, registration is in half an hour. And then there is no tan today. Tanning is base coat and final coat are both tomorrow morning. So that's that. We are here. Final stretch. What is it now? 18 hours out. The night before the show, I'm going to sign this video out now. And I'm going to show you my second to last meal. We're like 9:30 in the evening. So the last one's going to go in maybe like 11, half 11. They didn't have any bowls big enough, so I've got 150 grams of cream of rice with whey and fruit. So I've got a saucepan. Emily's just gone to do her cardio at a gym just around the corner, so I'm gonna go and pick her up after this. And then final meal and diuretics, or just Diazide, half a Diazide. I've gone in with around 8.5 litres of water today. So yeah, tomorrow's show day, but the show itself I'm gonna do on the next episode. So thank you very much for watching.